Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You're watching the Vintage Watch Guy, and today I want to share with you something that I did that New Year's thing really makes no sense. As if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I love my Omega soccer timer. It's like a real beauty. You know, the colors, the design, the '70s cushion style case. I think it's a really great watch. Um, but I did something that makes absolutely no sense. If you're a watch guy, you may understand. So I bought this. See, this is not usually a guy who's into these kind of accessories, but the original box. The inner box. And even the hang tag is on here. Here is exact same reference, the Omega 145.016. Be careful they take that 50-year-old hang tag out of there. Yeah, so the exact same reference. I originally saw this watch for sale by an online dealer. You know, it was about maybe 6 months after I bought my other one, and the thing was mint. It's beautiful. The original, especially the case finishing is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm usually very hesitant to use the term unpolished, but you can see all the original finishing details. Can you see that? The circular style brushing, the black polishing on the bevel, and then the up and down brushing on the side of the case. Take a look at those lugs. Oh man, those things are sharp. Look at that. Look at that lug. Yeah, all the details are on there. So I'd seen this and I was like, wow, this is awesome. But I already have one, which I love. So I thought about buying it, but the price to me at that time seemed quite high. I didn't feel like paying it, but sometimes fate intervenes. I saw the watch for sale recently uh, in another location, and the price was a lot better than when I saw it originally. So I decided to pull the trigger and buy it. And I have to say, it's beautiful. This is a really good example of what the difference between a polished case and an original finished case. So you see the sharpness, you see the black polishing on the edge, circular brushing, and then I'm not sure how to call that, longitudinal brushing on the side. Look at this case. So you see when I turn in the light, still sparkles, but not quite as much. You see, you can't really make out you can sort of make out the ghost of the circular brushing, and you can see the lines are not as well defined. The black polishing is still there, the brushing on the side actually is still there, but the edges really are not well defined. And if you look at the lug, look at that compared to that. See, it's just a bit softer. You see how the black polish really stands out against the brushing on the one with the mint case and the one that's in polish. You see, yeah, the brushing actually is still there, but the edges are more rounded and just the case is just not as well defined, and you can't the black polishing doesn't show up as well. Um, is not polished to the same standard as it was, and the lack of the beveling and the contrast between the two, makes a much less sharp case. So this is a great example of the difference between a mint condition case and a polished case. Now that I have two of these things, honestly, don't know what to do with it. Um, I may sell one of them. I may sell my older one. I may, some people say one to stock, one to rock. I don't know. But I'm ultimately, I guess I am glad I bought this. It's really cool to see what the original case looked like. If you look at these similar Seamaster cushion case watches, you can see, sometimes you do see these cases with the original polishing, and it does make a big difference, the unpolished case. I think as I've spent more, the longer I spend as a collector, the more, initially I was attracted mostly to the dial, but now, the case, I think it's a really nice cherry on the cake to see the original finishing on the case. Something that's very cool. I was a little hesitant about it originally because the brushing is circular. Other, sort of, I mean, the watch was made in 69. My other one was made in 68. But, the end of 68 and sold in 69. Uh, but these 70 styles cases with this kind of, case, usually on the front you see radial brushing, so it comes out sort of like a sunburst appearance, and this one's circular. And I do know there's a way to sort of crudely redo a circular brushing by, sort of using a polishing wheel and sort of like going back and forth on it like that. But I looked at some photos, some online discussions on the forums, and it does appear that circular brushing was a potentially correct um, original finishing on this kind of case. Some did have radial brushing, I think those came later. And when they're refinished by Omega, they tend to get the radial brushings when the case was redone. That's what some people said. But ultimately, the biggest clue was in my own watch, because when I look closely at this, you can see that the original polishing, which is still present to some degree, was a circular brushing and not a radial style brushing. Anyway, so I have two of these things now. May need to be selling one of these soon. Anyway, thanks for joining me on the Vintage Watch Guy, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe below. I'll catch you in the next one.